Ciao Bella, welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. This video, as you've seen from the title, is my whips and foes or crochet catch up or what have I been up to, what have I been working on, all that sort of thing. So I have several things to show you. All the pictures are on my phone. I did discuss this in my last video. I am somewhat of a room crafter, and I have a project that I work on in different spaces, and there are some things that I will take with me from place to place, right, depending on how big it is or whatever, but to bring everything back down here and then go to put everything back in its crafting place, that's a lot. I'm just not gonna do it. Not every time. I do have one thing, right, to show you back there, and we will talk about that. And then I'm going to show you some of the other things that I've done. So I actually have two finished objects. So this one, you've already seen in a previous video, but this is the Label My Library pick from the Manfella MALS collaboration that I'm doing with Sam over at Memphis Makes, and it was out of this book, Crochet Little Heroes, because that was the Label My Library option. This was the first thing that was drawn for me. So I did choose Gandhi, and you guys were great in helping me pick out the yarns and things like that. So I do have all of that completed, and it was a really nice amigurumi to make. I enjoyed it. I enjoy making amigurumi, but this one was particularly inspirational for me, so it made it even better to create and craft. So the other, and I do have my next project for the Manfella MALS. If you have already seen it, great. If not, you can go back and watch the video Manfella MALS Project 2, where I talk about what the project is going to be, the pattern I'm going to use, and the yarn that I'm still giving everyone a little bit of time to see what they vote for, to know what everyone has selected. So the other finished object that I have, now I'm going to talk about this briefly because it's not out yet, but so like I don't have a name for it or anything, but I was testing a pattern for Evelyn at Pink Sheep Designs, and she is making a pattern for leg warmers, and so I made leg warmers and I did those, and it took me, I think, three evenings. The first evening I had one all the way done, and I had started the second one. The second evening, I was really tired. So I think I did like 2 rounds, and then I was like, I can't finish this. I have to go to sleep. But then the third night I finished no problem. So I'm going to backtrack just a minute because I realized I didn't tell you the yarn that I used for my amigurumi. I used cotton, all cotton yarn. I like to do amigurumi out of cotton. I feel like it stays better. It doesn't stretch as much. So I did use the basic cotton, the Mondial basic cotton for the skin color. I did use one whole ball of this, so this will be going in my total for the month. And then, but I didn't put it down, so I don't remember what that is. Let's see what it says. Okay, so I have that in my head. And then I used all of what I had left of this beige 25 gram skein, and then I used very minimal of the brown and the gray, so I'm not really going to count those. And then this was a little bit of thread that I had, so I'm not going to count that in my total either. I do have my gray down here, so I can get my my information off of it. Okay, and I used 5mm clover or more crochet hook for the amigurumi. So now we'll move back to the leg warmers. If you know anything about Evelyn at Pink Sheep Designs, she does a lot of bulky weight projects, and that's kind of her, well, not kind of, it is her niche area. Anything with like bulky wool, chunky, so size 5, 6 yarns, and I have been working on a dress for her as well. I finished the dress with the exception of the pockets, and we're waiting on the pattern for the pockets so that I make it true to pattern, but the dress itself is finished, but I can't show you that because it's not done. But I did show you the leg warmers. They are beautiful, and I used not this colorway, but I used Robin Paintbox Splash Super Chunky. I had 4 of these in a like bluish purple colorway, and the blue purple white colorway that you saw, and I have 4 of this. I think this one's called Jungle. It doesn't say that on here, and I don't remember what the other one was called. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me look. But anyway, they were super fun to make. They were super easy to make. Once I find out that she's published her pattern, I will put a link in my posts for the pattern for you. Nope, I don't remember. It was just called Blue Purple in my, which actually, I probably need to delete that, don't I? I did not delete it off of my yarn library. But anyway, so it took me 2 skeins of this each for the original pattern, and then she did encourage us to like make them longer if we wanted to, but I didn't have any more yarn because the dress that I made for her, I was supposed to make in making sure my camera was still on because I'm talking and then I couldn't see anything on the screen. The dress I made was supposed to be in a chunky yarn as well, but I didn't have that much chunky yarn, so I held some 4-weight yarns together, which the pattern worked just fine when I held them together. But this, I knew that I had plenty, and even if I had to put, even if I would have ended up putting the 8 total of this super chunky that I had together, I could have. But when I was able to finish one with just 2 skeins, I was like, I can do the other one with the other 2 skeins. So I didn't bother pulling this out. But I do have these 4 if I choose to make another set. But I won't be able to make them any longer because this is all the chunky yarn I have. I mean, I could use some other yarn for sure, but I don't have any more super chunky yarn like that. So I was glad that I could participate with the yarn that I had. Okay, so those are my finished objects. That's what I've managed to finish. I had wanted to do a craft fair coming up in a couple of weeks, but I really don't think that I'm going to be able to get the things done that I want to get done. I wanted to make some face scrubbies and washcloths, like make little spa sets and things, but it takes a lot of time to make those and get them like presentable. So you need to have ribbon, and you need to have like make them all nice and neat and pretty, and I don't even have the time to make them, much less finish the projects that I have. I mean, I would literally have to put everything to the side that I'm working on to do that. And I also have a crochet class that weekend, so I don't know that I would even be able to make it completely. I don't know. My goals got loftier than my actual abilities. But anyway, I have put some into the wavy waffle blanket, so it's no longer the way I keep calling it. It's just the waffle blanket now. So that is focus. Okay, that is how big it is now. It was about a little, so I've done about a quarter more. So it was about I'd say where the armrest is. So it was to about there last time. You can't really see the stitch marker, but it's there. And then I've done that much more, which is a significant amount of yarn. If you were not here, this is my third attempt with this blanket. I was making the wavy waffle blanket from Fiber Spider, and I was doing great, but then I realized I screwed up, so I had to undo it, and I started over, and then I put it to the side, and when I was taking my Christmas tree down, or when I was putting it up, at some point, I don't know, something happened. The tree branches got caught on my yarn and like pulled a whole bunch of stuff out, and it didn't matter how much I tried to stretch it, it was not going back. So I had to rip it all back again, and just decided that I was not continuing with the wavy waffle. I love the pattern, it's beautiful, it worked well for this yarn. I am holding 3 strands of Caron Kindness together. They don't make that yarn anymore, but I'm using Seafoam, Tomato, and Sunshine. I think those are the colorways. But they don't make them anymore. So, but I'm holding 3 together, and I'm using an 8mm crochet hook, Clover and More crochet hook for that. So I have put plenty into that, because when I pulled it back the third time, I had the main big ball from when I had pulled it back the first time, and then I had to cut the yarn because I couldn't add any more to that ball. It's already gigantic. And then I had to make a ball, cut it, and then make the other ball where it was still attached. So I've used both of the balls from that. I still have not attached the bigger ball, but I am ready to. So if you look here, this is all the yarn that I have left. So this is just enough to attach that other big ball for the yarn that I was already using. So there's that yarn. That doesn't get included in my totals, because when I was working on it, I had already included it in my totals as I was finishing each skein. So until I get to the end of the skeins that are at the other end of the ball that I was working on, I have 3 skeins that I was pulling from. I'm not gonna count any new yarns from that, even though I am working diligently on it. I have not put anything into the fairy dust again. I'll find the headspace. I will. I want to finish it. I want to finish it for my daughter. I know that she'll love it. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on right now, so I don't feel like I can concentrate on it. Simple as that. So then my next project, which I am actually much further along now than I was in this photo. This is a corner to corner blanket. that I actually took to work with me for a training day. And I had started on it a little bit before, but then we had a training day and I took it with me and worked on it. I'm actually now done completely with the actual blanket, and I'm working on the border. So for that, I was using Premier Momenti, but not in this colorway. I just got this to show you what the Momenti looks like. But again, I need to pull up my yarn inventory here. I can tell you the colorway because I probably need to edit it while I'm, yes, in the colorway Twilight. And I have used all, or I will have used all 3 skeins. By the time you see this video, I will be completely done with it. So I'll have used all 3 of those. Sorry, I'm just trying to put this. I need to delete this, and I am, there we go. So I've used all 3 of those by the time you see this, because I will have made a hat and little booties as well, because the border is like a shell border. So I'm going to make a hat and booties and things out of the rest of the yarn that I have left. So, but I did use 2 full cakes on the blanket itself, just the C2C part, with the exception of the last 2 to finish up. I had to start with the 3rd one, and then the border is, like I said, a shell border, so it takes up quite a bit of yarn. And I am on the, I'm almost to the 4th side, and I've used about almost half of the cake to get around the blanket, and then I'll have the hat and the little booties and stuff to go with it. So I'll be able to get that to her. Yay, I'm so excited, before she has her baby in April. And it's going straight to the States, so it won't be, hopefully, going bouncing all around. So, but it is wonderfully soft and everything. I do still need to like wash it and stuff, but it is, the yarn is already deliciously soft for a baby. And then I am still working on the Stag and the Serpent chapter 3. So I have put in a couple more rows since this photo, probably about 6, yeah, 6 more rows, because the way that the mosaic, this mosaic works is you do it back and forth. So you do your color, and then on the front, and then you do the back pass, however, whatever the pattern is, and then you go up to your, so you do your main color, your background color, and then you do your secondary color forwards, and then you, so you're not cutting it off on each side, which is interesting, because the only other mosaic I've done is the fairy dust, where you go and you cut, and then you come back and you go and then you cut. So this actually has a lot less ends to weave in, but it does get a little bit frustrating because you have to pick up the stitches in the back, or you'll have these little like loops where things can catch, and sometimes I'll forget and I'll have to like rip it back out and go back and pick up those stitches. So they each have their own benefits, but this is what I have so far of chapter 3. And Kay and I work on this as and when we can get together, and then sometimes we'll say like, oh, we need to get to X row before we you know, get back together, or by the end of the week. So for the C2C blanket, I was using a 4mm tulip Etimo hook, and for the Stag and the Serpent, I am using 4 4mm Clover Moor, and I'm using the Hayfield bonus glitter, and then the Yarnsmiths DK Lagoon yarn. So the blue is the Hayfield bonus glitter, and then the variegated is the Lagoon. It has a specific colorway, but I don't remember the number, and I have two different ones because on chapters 1 and 2 I used the first colorway, and then chapters 3 and 4 are the stag. They build the stag because it says in the pattern that they go together. It's the same section, so that tells me that it's building the stag. And then I don't know if I'm going to switch back to the other colorway for the other panel because there's 3 panels in it. But I am still working on it little by little. But I haven't finished any skeins of that, so I won't have that in my total. And I need to actually probably do my total because I have not done that. And I need a pen. I don't have a pen. I should have done this before I came on camera. All the stuff I have in here, and I don't have a pen. I know. Oops, sorry guys. I know I had that. This marker will do. Okay, so let's look at. We're gonna add this up together. Okay, you guys. Let me get out my calculator. The white was 45 yards for the Gandhi, and then each of these are 71 yards. Yeah, so 71 is for and then that's 45, and then that is, where's the Momenti? It's on the front. That's a lot of yarn. Okay, so 4, 7, right? Yeah. Plus. Okay, and then the skin tone color. Yeah, because I didn't finish anything else. So all total for February, I have used 1,790 yards of yarn. And then I also did the puzzle, the Kandinsky puzzle, which I haven't really figured out how to put a way into figure out, because they don't have, it doesn't tell me how much it is. I guess maybe I could convert centimeters to yards. And let me see if I can do that. Let's see, centimeters to yards. Does that make any sense? It probably won't be anything worth adding, but we're going to give it a shot. So how many centimeters is this? Okay, so 10 centimeters is, then 14 centimeters is, yeah, it's less than a yard. It's less than a yard. I was hoping that I could add it all together to equal out, but that's not gonna work. Maybe if I did multiple puzzles, or if I did bigger puzzles, I don't know. We'll see. But I thought about maybe the weight, but there's no weight on here. It just tells me how many pieces and how many, like, it's this many centimeters by this many centimeters. But anyway, that is all that I have made this month. or all that I have worked on, which is quite a bit, don't get me wrong, and it's February, so it's a little bit shorter of a month. March is going to see another addition because it's my birthday month and I just want to add more onto my plate, so why not? But also I am going to be working on the project number 2 for the Manfella MALS, and we'll see how far we get on that. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the yarn choice so that I can see how many people vote for which one. And then once I give it a little bit of time, I'll decide which one I'm going to do and post that in my posts section, and we'll go from there. So, with my Craft Yourself Free this month, right, I have done 1,790 yards, and I always invite you all to do the same, no matter what you've been making, no matter what you've been doing. It could be gardening, it could be weaving, it could be macrame, it could be... I had a lady at work show me some rug hooking that her aunt had done. She sent her this beautiful rug. Oh my god, it was so gorgeous. And I have a small kit that I was given by a family that was leaving. I haven't tried it yet, but I am excited to. It could be Legos, it could be puzzles, it could be diamond painting. Ooh, if that's what you like to do. I don't like diamond painting, but I know there are lots of people out there that love it, and if that's the craft that makes you happy, pull it out, work on one, buy another one, whatever you can do to make your heart happy, because in all the times of things that we have going on in the world, so many people face so many hardships. If you can bring yourself, right, that one small ounce of joy each day, then even if it's just looking at them online, right? Like if you just go through and whatever your favorite hobby or craft is, you can go and look for that online and just be like, oh, it would be great to have this, and oh, it would be great to have that, and oh, I would love to do this. Just dream, right? That can bring you joy as well. So I hope that you find your joy in every day. And as always, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!